Okay, we're back. These have fully cured. I went ahead and used my extra that I had and made a star. I like to turn these over, pat them. If there's anything loose, it's going to fall off. And then just peel the contact paper off the back. I don't see any holes on the back. It's a little sticky. You can take some alcohol and wipe that off. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my tweezers, if I can find them. Well, I don't know where the ones I usually use. These extra pieces that have fell off, I'm just going to pick them up, put them back in the jar. They get stuck to the tape when you're filling up the cookie cutter. Couple more pieces here. There's no point in wasting them. And just put them back in the jar. Okay, now dump this over. Give it a little pat. Everything's good and solid. Peel these off. You can see they're still a little bendable. They're not completely solid yet, but okay. Now, this is what I was talking about, the overflow. You can get this, and it just pulls right off. It almost is like silicone itself. And you just pick all that off around the mold. Can't get down in there. Get my tweezers and just go around the edges. I mean, you could leave it on there if you wanted to. It's not going to affect anything. I like to have it off of there if I can. Okay. Oops, some on the other side. I didn't see it. And it just takes a minute to pull that off. Almost. This one's a little harder than most of them. I guess it's because of the shape. You have to really get down in there. Okay, that one's good. And my tweezers. Alright, I think the rest of them are okay. So, what we are going to do is, I need a baby towel. Get your scale Now, silicone is measured by weight. And I know for these, about 40 gram maybe will be plenty. Silicone comes in a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm using the T-Expert silicone rubber. These are a 15. I can't remember what they call it. The lower the number, the more flexible the silicone is going to be. And this is a 15A. But the higher the number, the more sturdy your mold will be. When you're making inlays, you want at least a 15 or less, and this is 15. Now you use equal parts of A and B, and it's measured in grams. Turn that on. I always start with part B. I don't know why, I just do. So I'm going to do 20 of each. I hope my arm's not in the way of you seeing this. Okay, 20. That was part B. Now, part A. These lids can be a little tricky to get off. You have to press and, alright. Now, 20 part A. Almost. There we go. And it's okay if it's off by 1 or 2. It doesn't have to be completely exact. Yeah. I am going to stir this for 3 minutes and then I will be back. Okay, I got my silicone stirred. I like to use these silicone stir sticks to do this, but you can use anything you want to. I made sure to get the bottom, scrape around the sides. Whatever silicone you use, it will tell you how often or how long it wants you to stir it to mix it good. Now there will be some bubbles down in here, but this is a self-debubbling silicone. I think most are. And then all I do is I take, you pour up high and you pour slow. That helps to pop the bubbles. And we just want a thin layer out across this because we don't want this very big. Now I'm just going to move this around. All I want enough is to cover each of those little pieces down in there without any sticking up. And that will be thick enough. This one's a little bit bigger. I might end up having to make some more. I'm going to look from this. Okay. Let's do the next one. Silicone only sticks to silicone. It will not stick to anything else. That's why you can use these glass, broken glass pieces and the metal cookie cutter, because the silicone won't stick to it. This one needs some more. And I'm just getting that spread out, making sure I'm dripping everywhere. I think there's a piece that's sticking up in that one. Put just a little more in there. And this one. Yeah, I'm going to have to mix up some more for the star. And just get that spread out. There's not much left in here. Just going to pour the rest of this in these. I think this stir is about to break in half. I'm going to have to get out another one, I think. I've used it so much. Okay, I'm just going to mix up a little more silicone because I want to put a little more in there too. I can see the bubbles popping. There's a little bubble in there. And you can help them pop if you need to. There we go. But I'm going to mix up maybe 10 gram, not much, and be back and we'll do the star. Okay, so I ended up mixing up 14 gram because I went a little over when I poured in the first part. When it's a little bit like this, it really doesn't take long to mix. Scrape the sides, I've scraped the bottom, and then I'm just going to pour this in here. I want it to go down in each one of those corners. Probably made that a little thicker than I usually do, but just because of those corners can be a little difficult to get down in. And we can always trim off any excess if we need to when we're done. Put a little more. I just don't want to waste this. That's got plenty. I think they all have plenty. So I have this little heart I had made before, so I'm just going to take this extra silicone, dump it down in there. Don't want to waste it. Scrape all of that out. I did get a new stir stick. The other one was just about to break. It had served its time. I'm going to scrape all this out that I can to put in there. And then the good thing about the silicone when you use it in these cups is that that needs just a little more. I might have to take some out of another to take a little out of there. The silicone will just pull right out of these cups once it dries. And this silicone, usually 4 hours, and it's completely cured and ready to take it out and use. I There's no odor with this silicone. And if you don't want to leave it clear, you can add any colorant that you want to color it. A little mica powder does good. You just got to make sure that it mixes well, because we all know how mica is. It kind of likes to leave little clumps if you don't mix it well. You can use resin dyes, just a little drop. I wouldn't use very much. I've colored it that way before too. And the thing with silicone is that looks good, and I've used it all. Set my cup aside. This, I just wipe the silicone off with a paper towel, and it's completely clean and ready to use for the next time. Silicone will take on the shininess or matte of whatever you are using. I think I've took too much out of that now. Whatever you are using to make the mold. If it's shiny, like these crystals are, then the mold will be shiny. If it's matte that you're using, then your piece will be matte when you demold it out of the silicone. Okay, and then I will see you all back when I take these out. Maybe we'll take them out and use them for something in the next video. Alright, see you guys.